Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's unseen video. We got so much to go through. We got loads of folders and they're pretty full as well. We've even got a Wrestlemania folder and that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with this. Alex, thank you. So you can see an image of the Wrestlemania stage and the ring and all of that stuff being constructed. So yeah, we've got footage and we've got loads of other images to look at. We've got another image to look at, and this is a potential spoiler. So if you do want to skip this next bit, there's timestamps in the description. So this is apparently going to be some ring gear for Wrestlemania. So here it is. Look, this Luke said possible attire spoiler. Surely this is 100% Becky. Green for Ireland, right? And I agree. I think this kind of frills that she's got on the sides there, that reminds me a lot of stuff she's wore before. I remember her wearing black with like orange frills. So the style of this feels very Becky. And as you said, green for Ireland. Although we do now know she is an American citizen as well. I think she's got dual citizenship. But yeah, this does feel very Becky. I have seen people joking that this might be Seth's ring gear. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure there'll be other little spoilers and little glimpses at ring gear as we get closer to the event. Jordan, thank you. WWE legends that have been added include Rikishi, Alundra Blaze, Cowboy Bob Orton, and Jerry Lawler. That from PW Insider Elite. And apparently those names have been added to the WrestleMania 40 event. Don't know where they're going to pop up. Doesn't mean that they're going to be on the actual show. It might be that they're just doing sign-ins at WWE World. It could be that they're going to be part of the Hall of Fame, or they're just in the crowd, or they're going to do a backstage thing, or who knows? Who knows? But a lot of these names, all of these names make sense. Rikishi, of course, is the father of the Usos. Alundra Blaze is the person I'm expecting to induct Bull Nakano. Cowboy Bob Orton was at the first WrestleMania and is also Randy's dad. And Jerry Lawler is Jerry Lawler, maybe the voice of the Attitude Era, and of course, one of the kings of Memphis. Cal, thank you. So apparently the staging for SmackDown, Hall of Fame, and Raw is going to be identical. Now, the reason why this is probably important is because that tells us that they're going to do the same thing they always do, which is to do the Hall of Fame in the ring. That's what that says to me. I think the staging for SmackDown and Raw being the same is normal. It's normally the same. But Hall of Fame, we have done it on a stage before, with like all the chairs out and the wrestlers sat like in front of the stage. But in recent years, we've done it in the ring. So I was expecting it to be in the ring, and it looks like it's going to be done in the ring. People have got split opinions on that. Some people like it, some people don't. I like it. I don't have a problem with being it done that way. But the same setup for all of those shows. Right, we've got some footage here. Here's Kian. He said, you might have seen this already, but construction has begun. And here we are inside the actual stadium. And look at this. I can't help but look at this. And I know we're meant to be looking at the ring being set up and all of that stuff. I can't help but look at this and think, is that where Cody finishes the story? That's what I think when I look at this. Is this where Roman's historic title reign is going to come to an end? Is this where it all finishes? That's what I think. Just imagine this just dripping full of people. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. Right, Jordan, thank you. Wrestle purists are saying that Stone Cold and Hogan have been reached out to, and the hope is that we can get them involved for WrestleMania. There's been a lot of rumors around Stone Cold, not so many around Hogan, but, you know, I expect them both to be there. I expect them both to feature in some regard. I think, didn't we see Hogan during the Royal Rumble? Because we were in Tampa I think, was he in a box? And I think maybe part of the intro. I can't remember. So much has happened. The Royal Rumble feels like it was years ago. It really does. It does not feel like it was a couple of months ago. It feels like it was years ago. But yeah, I expect both of these to be at WrestleMania. Tristan, thank you. WrestlePlug, just pointing out, and I don't know where this graphic is from, but you can see Wrestlemania Saturday. It says April 6th, 6 hours, WWE 6 hours. Is it that the first day of WrestleMania is going to be 6 hours long? I don't think so, right? I think that this might be the kickoff show and the day one kind of merged, right? I don't think they'll do a hour, 2 hour kickoff show and then a 6 hour day one WrestleMania. I don't think they'll do that, but this will be something worth keeping an eye on. My guess is that this is the kickoff show and the main show. But don't forget, we do live streams. We do them for Raw, we do them for NXT, we do them for SmackDown, and of course premium live events. We will be live for WrestleMania hours before a kickoff show. We'll go all the way through the kickoff show, all the way through the main card as well. We're live both days, and for the Hall of Fame, and for SmackDown, and for Raw, and for NXT, and for Stand and Deliver, and we're doing unseen videos, and we're doing opinion videos, and I'll be doing reviews of the shows as well. So, oh man, the next weekend is going to be absolutely stacked. So much content on the way. Right, Jordan, thank you. Wrestling Blog said it's currently raining very heavy around the Philadelphia area, so something to be aware of. They're just speculating this might disturb the construction. But obviously, we know that they kind of factor in that there might be some bad weather. So as long as it doesn't like hammer it down for the next 7 days, then everything should be okay. But not a great sign that there's bad weather in Philadelphia, 10 days before WrestleMania? So yeah, again, something else to keep an eye on. Here's some letters. Look, Fadeaway Media said, I spy the WrestleMania letters for the upcoming stage. So here's all the WrestleMania letters. And look, SWER. If we had a V and an E, then we've got Swerve. So that is a spoiler that Swerve is coming back from AEW. That clearly is not true. This is clearly the letters for WrestleMania, but it's exciting all the same. And actually, look how big they are. You can see there's a person here, right? And here. And these are the letters. So they're not small. They're not small letters by any means. I'm sure they might look small when the whole stage is finished. But yeah, look at the size of them. Amazing. Cathy Kelley said, I still don't have any outfits for Mania Week. Clown emoji. So, yeah, that's something she definitely needs to get sorted. Although she can't go looking like Seth. But, yeah, I think that she's doing the Slammies. I think that she will look amazing. She always does. But, yeah, she definitely needs to get on that. Right, Sports Key to Wrestling said that a top AEW star is coming at WrestleMania 40 to help Cody Rhodes? Question mark. Now, the question mark's the big thing there because that could be easily seen as a statement. It's not a statement. It's a question because this question was asked on the Conan podcast with Disco Inferno. They're speculating. They're theorizing. Could MJF help Cody at WrestleMania? It would be cool. It would be amazing if that happened because MJF is an incredible talent. I'm sure he'll be in WWE one day. I think he would like that WrestleMania experience. And I can only go by what I've heard. Reports were late last year that he had re-signed with AEW. The belief was that he had re-signed with AEW. So I don't know that he's free. I don't know that he's available. I'm not expecting him at WrestleMania. I know that he's not on their roster, on their webpage. I know his merch is not sold anymore. But all of that could just be a way of AEW just creating a bit of a buzz, you know? Clearly, Conan and Disco Inferno are talking about him. Now Sportskeeda are talking about him. Now we're talking about him. It's such a great way of getting free press, free promotion, you know? So, something to keep an eye on. I'm not expecting him to be part of WrestleMania. It would be very cool if he was, but I'm not expecting it. But something to keep an eye on, and something else to keep an eye on is this. Megan Morant said, come and hang out with us next week at WWE World. So here, look, we've got the bump is going to be coming from WWE World. I really want to watch this because they might show us around WWE World, and I really want to see it. So I might even do a live stream. It's on a Thursday, but I don't know. Let's wait and see first of all. Next week's rammed enough as it is. But yeah, this is interesting. Very interesting. So bump live from WWE World. If you go in, you can pop by and hang out with the crew. So that should be fun. Also on April 3rd, we have got Roman and The Rock. They are going to be in studio with Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show. I always love it when wrestlers go on those late night talk shows. I just think those late night talk shows, a lot of people watch them. I think it's a great way of kind of getting in front of eyes of fans and people that don't watch wrestling, you know. People that might tune into WrestleMania that didn't even know it was going to be happening. So yeah, I always like to see this. So Roman and Rock, wow, both of them on The Tonight Show on April 3rd. Also at WWE World, we got The Undertaker. He's going to be doing a meet and greet. Obviously, you can get tickets for this. I'm guessing you'll need tickets for this due to the demand. Tickets, I'd imagine, are going to be expensive, but yeah, we're talking about a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to meet the dead man. Mattel Wells, thank you. So I included this because Sami Zayn just mentioned that he beat Gunther in a pretty prominent match over in Germany, WXW. It was for their big championship, and Walter was the champ at the time, and Sami went over there and won. He beat him. He hasn't spoke about this on TV. I don't expect him to speak about this on TV, but they did have a match back in 2012, and yeah, I mean, because they have wrestled before a long time ago, and because they're both so highly skilled, this match, it really could be match of the weekend. I know a lot of people want Chad rather than Sami, but it doesn't mean that this thing hasn't got match of the year written all over it. This thing could be one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history. I know that that's a high bar and a high expectation, but Gunther and Sami can deliver, and they have wrestled before. So I thought it was very interesting that Sami was just mentioning this in one of his interviews. Will lightning strike twice? Now, I've not had time to look into this, which I do apologize for, because I would love to tell you if this is accurate or not, but this is something for you to go and chew over. So, Alex, thank you. Kendall Wrestling says, every time Roman has won at WrestleMania, he's posed on stage. Every time he's lost, he's posed in the ring. Now, in my mind, don't they pose twice? Don't they do it on the stage and in the ring? So why would he only pose once? If this is true, that he only poses once, and sometimes it's on the stage, sometimes it's in the ring, and every time he's posed on stage, he's won, and every time he's posed in the ring, he's lost, that would be very interesting. But as I said, I've not had chance to look into it, but Kendall Wrestling has, and is claiming that there is a pattern. Right, Kian, shout out to you, my friend. Here's more footage for all you letter fans. You can see that the T and the L have now gone up. There they are, T and L over there. It is a bit strange to start in the middle, but I'm guessing that might be a weight thing. It might be if like all the letters go on the one side, perhaps it'll be a bit too much weight. Perhaps this way it balances it out a bit better. But so they're starting in the middle working their way out. But again, I just can't help but look at this and think, is this where Cody finishes his story? And I do love all this kind of, I feel like I'm a fan walking out into the stadium, seeing a little bit of behind the scenes, if you will. I do like this footage. So obviously there'll be loads of footage over the coming days as this continues to develop. And I'm not sure when they're doing the stage reveal. Tends to be on like the Thursday or the Friday. So a stage reveal in about a week's time. So yeah, something else to look forward to. And something else to look forward to. Tiffany Stratton said, hey guys, here's my WrestleMania schedule. April 4th, Tiffy time. April 5th, more Tiffy time. April 6th, Tiffy time. And she goes on and on and on because every day is Tiffy time. So very fun. Something that's not fun is this. So this is Zelina. She's deactivated her Twitter and no one knows why, right? There is a theory here, but I don't quite understand this theory. So Zero News said a source has stated there was a meeting which it's been decided that cosplay is now not allowed in WWE. This is likely the reason behind Zelina's recent deactivation of Twitter. I don't think that she would deactivate her Twitter because WWE are now not allowing cosplay. And I also don't know what that means because you're not allowed to wear outfits that are copyrighted. So on the shows, right? That's why people don't come walking out like Thanos, right? They might have gear that's inspired, similar colors, right? Slightly similar patterns, but they can't come out in actual Thanos or actual Spider-Man stuff and stuff like that. The only person that comes to mind that's kind of done things along those lines is Ray. Ray's done a lot of, like, you know, dressing up as Batman and stuff like that in the past. But that was in the past. And I also don't know if it was a case that he was maybe close enough, but still far enough away whereby he could get away with it, you know? In this day and age, you got to be careful with that stuff. People don't like their property being invaded, if you will. So yeah, this, I don't really understand the cosplay thing, but I don't think that's why she would deactivate her Twitter. This one to me seems a bit more realistic. So here, this from Sportskeeda, just saying that apparently it was her dad's birthday, and obviously he tragically passed away on 9/11, and so she wished him a happy birthday, and apparently not long after that, that's when she deleted her account. So just speculation. No one seems to know why she's deleted her account, but it could be the whole emotion of this time. I'd imagine if it is his birthday, I'd imagine this is a very difficult, very emotional time for her, as she's thinking about him and obviously wishing he was still around. And you can understand that. You can really understand that. So that to me seems a bit more realistic of a reason, but no one knows. No one knows. Hopefully she's well. Hopefully she returns soon. Right, let's get into the Bray folder. So Mike Rotunda thought that Bray would be inducted into the Hall of Fame immediately. So once Bray passed away, he thought that, you know, he'll go, not that he really gave it much thought, but he thought that Bray would go in this year. But don't get angry, because he does continue, right? And we've got the quotes in a bit. So this was an interview that he did with Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge, okay? This is Bray's dad, Mike Rotunda. Fascinating. I need to watch the interview. I've not seen it. I need to watch it. I've just seen these clips. So it's on the Wrestle Binge YouTube channel. And he confirmed that the Firefly Funhouse was inspired by Pee-wee's Playhouse. I think we knew that, but always good to hear it from Bray's dad, of course. And here, look, WWE has been awesome. They've been very helpful throughout the process with Wyndham passing, and very generous. I can't say enough about that. Along with The Rock, he has sent food here every day, and people reaching out. Undertaker, so many people. We did his funeral here in Brooksville, and a lot of WWE staff, wrestlers from AEW showed up. It was sadly a beautiful funeral to celebrate Wyndham. So there we go. Amazing, isn't it? So The Rock's been sending food over to the house. I mean, honestly, if you've ever been through anything like that, your head is just all over the place. So the fact that you haven't got to think about food, you know, it's such a lovely gesture, that, by The Rock, and Undertaker and so many other people have reached out. So it's emotional, isn't it? He goes on, look, with Wyndham passing, I thought they'd immediately put him in the Hall of Fame, which he will be at some point. I think WWE reassessed stuff and thought that it was too soon to go there with our family and the reactions and the stress on us. It is true. If he was going in the Hall of Fame, there's a lot that comes with that. And you could understand the documentary this year, WWE looking at it going, that's, you know, that's a lot that we've already asked for them to sit down and talk about him. And you've seen that clip with his dad getting upset. So they probably thought, let's not put him through that and put him in the Hall of Fame. He'll go in, right? I'm sure of it. He'll go in. It just might be that it has to wait until next year. But, you know, they are putting in his dad's, along with Barry Windham and the US Express. So that obviously was a very positive moment for them. So hopefully that gives them something positive to focus on. And then next year, hopefully that's the year where Bray will headline the class that goes in. So that was the Bray Wyatt stuff. We've got a bit of merch. Let's go down. Here you can see there's more than this, actually, but Wrestlemania shirts focused on the matches. So Becky and Rhea, Seth and Drew, Io and Bayley, Roman and Cody, of course. There are other shirts that are available. You can go to WWE Shop right now to have a look at them. There's a link in the description. And if you go to Euroshop, you can use DAYS15 code. DAYS15. That should save you 15%. I don't think it works on sale items, but it should work on other stuff. And that only works at Euroshop, though, unfortunately. But some good stuff is getting added as we get closer to WrestleMania. Right here, Pro Wrestling Tees have got this Owen Hart 21-inch tall stuffed plush available. So that's pretty cool. There's only 250. It's got Owen Hart Foundation on the front. I don't think it's got AEW on it for any of you that don't want anything AEW. I don't think it's got that on it. But yeah, there we go. Only 250. Owen Hart looks really cool. Right, also on Friday, there's going to be a live auction. Don't know what they're auctioning off, but Superstars should be involved. Fanatics Live. And they're saying you don't want to miss this, so that should be fun. I'd imagine it's going to be like signed bits of table and chairs and pictures and just bits and bobs, really. They have got an auction site, WWE, where you can view all that kind of stuff which gets auctioned off, but they don't tend to do it live and like do a stream or anything. It's a bit eBay-esque, but they do have a website for that. They have had it for a few years. Some really good stuff on there as well. Expensive, of course, but good stuff. So, yeah, this should be interesting. LA Knight said, get your own mini version of the Megastar now. Yeah. So you can get a 10-inch plush figure of LA Knight, a bleacher creature. Looks like it's from WWE Shop. And look at this as well. Chalkline have come out with a CM Punk jacket. Looks absolutely brilliant. Love that. Really love that. Adam says, oh my goodness. He loves it as well. Right, WWE, let's go down. We got a few bits here. So Becky says, Becky has spoke to Ariel Helwani and confirmed the Fightful Select report that she's now in the last 2 months of her contract. Lots of talk about that. I don't think there's any story there. I think it'll be dealt with after WrestleMania. I think Drew's will be dealt with. I think Seth's might be coming up as well. But you can understand them wanting to get WrestleMania out the way. You could ask, why haven't we sorted it already? But you can understand them wanting to get WrestleMania out the way. Coco, thank you. Appreciate it. So Dave was asked, do you think we're moving away from PG? This was his response. I actually just asked about that. Essentially, there is no answer at this time. It depends on business partners and sponsors as to what they are comfortable with. It's not a yes or a no yet. It's one of those where we're going to have to wait and see. Right, this is footage, but you can't really make it out. I'll play it, but you can't really make it out. It's from a Lion, and this is the end of Raw, and people are standing and they're applauding. So I think they were standing anyway, because that was so good at the end with Cody and The Rock. The people in the All-State Arena were standing, and of course, as soon as it finishes, they just start applauding. So Raw was so good, it got a standing ovation, says Wrestlemania. Derez fan said Raw got a standing ovation. It was 1,000% deserved. What an episode it was. Right, WrestlePurist said there was a hush backstage when CM Punk made allusions to Vince McMahon making Drew McIntyre the chosen one. But once they got past that moment, there was no fallout. So it's worth noting that that line was not in any script. He just came out with it. So what you saw was a very real moment of CM Punk saying that line, Drew's reaction to it, right? And all of that was so real. And it really made the segment. But you could understand WWE being very nervous about that. But apparently, as soon as that line was said and the promo moved on, that was it. There was no fallout for that reference. Good. I'm glad there wasn't. An amazing, amazing segment. Amazing segment. Wrestling does need to feel like it has that edge. And that, for me, is what has been missing for the longest time. It's been very safe. It's been not stale. I don't think we can say the last few years have been stale, but it has lacked an edge. And oh, wow, did it get that back last Monday. Wow. The word is that Drew McIntyre has told those close to him that he still is not locked into a new deal. The belief is that everyone is working under the understanding that a new deal will be struck. Just as we said. Wrestle Talk said ahead of the Hall of Fame induction, Paul Heyman has revealed that he plans on winging his Hall of Fame speech. He said, no, I'm going to figure this out as we go along. I'm going to take the pulse of the room that night. I'm going to wing this. So he's planning on winging it. Paul Ellering has cut a promo. I do love the fact you can see the phone in his glasses. I won't play it because we are already getting a little push for time because I know how much we've still got to get through, right? But he basically says that Street Profits, you are going to regret what you did. You might have won on SmackDown, but you will pay like you can't even begin to imagine. So threatening words from Paul Ellering, and it's brilliant to hear from him because he's got so much experience and I'm really enjoying his character at the moment. But because that is quite a crowded group, you know, you've got Scarlett, you've got Carrie, and you've got AOP, you've got Paul Ellering. There's a lot of people in that group. We're not really, and they're not getting much TV time. We're not really getting a chance to hear from him. So more of this, please. More of this. I'd like to hear more from Paul Ellering. Right, Paul Heyman said the Bloodline story might go to an extra innings. He said, every time I talk about innings, it gets shoved up my tuchus. Also, I've kind of gotten away from the baseball analogies. I've learned in my experience that baseball is fake. So, yeah, he's basically saying, like, everyone keeps talking about what innings are we in and everything. He said it doesn't matter. Now that The Rock is here, we can go to an extra innings. So I love that from Paul Heyman. I do love that. Cheeky. Right, Rhea and Candice have recreated their old photo together. So this from a few years ago, and there they are recreating it. It's cool, isn't it? Now, we don't know. This got a few people saying, could they join forces? Because obviously Candice is a heel now. So, you know, could these two join up and do something together? That could be interesting. So much potential going forward. Even something like this that you wouldn't really think about. You go, yeah, there could be something there. Could be something there. Maybe Rhea keeps the championship on Raw and Candice goes off to try and win the SmackDown one. Maybe do something like that. Maybe they try to go after the tag titles. Who knows? I don't think they will. I think there's maybe a chance that Indi turns heel as well. Like, Indi's trying to be all nice at the moment, but she's got a decision to make. It's either she turns heel and joins up with Candice, or go find a new partner. So Indi is going to have to make a decision real soon. It's going to be very interesting to see what decision she makes. But yeah, what next for Candice? Cards. I haven't really thought too much about after WrestleMania, but I must admit, seeing these pictures, it did kind of make me start thinking about, wow, where could some of these superstars be in like 3 months' time? Right, we haven't got time to play this either, but it's brilliant. It runs for 1 minute 50. Paul Heyman is talking about, and I love this line. He said the Mount Rushmore of wrestling, and he says Stone Cold, Hogan, Undertaker, John Cena, right? They all look in one direction. They look towards Roman Reigns. And I love that. I love the idea that there is something bigger than Mount Rushmore, and that all the faces on Mount Rushmore are all looking over at their tribal chief, the person that stands above all of them, right? So I loved that line. And what made this so good is the names he mentions are then shown walking into various rooms and sitting down, getting ready to talk about Roman Reigns, because the WWE Legends biography this week is on Roman Reigns, and they have got the biggest names: Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, John Cena. They're all ready to sit down and talk about Roman Reigns. Amazing. This is going to be unmissable, so I'm very excited for that. And the last thing in this folder, Drew said, I've been gone legitimately for 17 years. It hit me that I've missed a lot and I feel guilty about it. I'm very proud of everything I've done. I wouldn't take it back, but at the same time, I want to give my family that title. I want to give my dad that title. So he's talking about what winning the World Heavyweight Championship would mean to him and his family. And I really like this, because I don't know that he could do that during the pandemic. I don't know that he saw his dad during the pandemic or saw his family during the pandemic. So I don't know that he could hand that belt over. But he wants to do that. He wants to do what Cody did, or what Cody wanted to do, which would be to win the title and hand it over to his dads. Cody told us that story, that he wanted to put the belt in Dusty's hands. Well, he's not the only one that wants to do that. Drew wants to do that as well. And he wasn't trolling or anything here. Is this what we see at WrestleMania? Will he be able to do that? I really want him to. He's been so good on social media. I really want him to be champion. So, is this a glimpse into the future? We'll have to wait and see. Right, WWE Speed, and we did a separate video on this, thankfully, because that means we don't need to dig into this as much. Obviously, it's come in on April 3rd, exclusively to X, 3-minute matches, and a new championship up for grabs. The WWE Speed Championship will be the prize, the ultimate prize. So here, look, Noam Dar said there's not much I can't finish in 3 minutes. Axiom said some words. He seems interested. Here's Cedric Alexander. He said, if you're not first, you're last. And we know that he will be a part of this. He did film a match for it. Ivar looks interested as well. And Nathan Frazier said, WWE Speed Champion Nathan Frazier sounds about right. Hashtag never slow down. I'm really excited for that. I don't know how they're going to package it. I don't know if it's going to be like a weekly show, half an hour, 20 minutes, or if they're going to put the matches out individually. I think they should do it as a chunk, as a proper show, so that you know to go there every week to see the latest episode. But yeah, they've not revealed that yet, but we haven't got long to wait. We'll find out soon. Right, here we've got Norberto with Cody Rhodes and The Rock fan art, all done as that kind of anime style. Looks absolutely awesome. So, Sean, thank you. Love that. Here we've got this. So, here is your sneak peek of upcoming Raw when Cody F's every member of the Bloodline. Is this going to be Raw? Cody backstage just trashing everyone. Look at him storming his way to the arena. I love the fact they've put the logo on as well. I love that. So there he is walking out into the arena. And he should. He got so brutally beaten down, so humiliated. Even he said the time for words is over earlier on in that episode of Raw. Now is the time for action. I really am hoping that he is just going to come out in a tank and just start firing. I really want him to bring war. Like, I really want him to just go crazy on Roman, go crazy on The Rock, you know? So I'm very excited for Monday. So, Harry, thank you. Harry said that was funny. It was very good. Right, here's Becky. So Becky did an interview with Ariel Helwani, and she said that Ronda was treated probably not correctly because she had a great first match, but that was because of all the help, you know, Steph and all of that stuff. You know, her tag match at Wrestlemania 34. So people thought she could wrestle. She couldn't. And she said, I don't mean any disrespect by saying that. I don't think we used her right. I don't think we treated her right. And I would agree. I think we needed to put her in tag matches. We needed to put her in 6-woman tag matches, Money in the Bank matches, street fights. And we did use her in a lot of those. And I thought that her street fights with Charlotte, I really enjoyed. And she definitely had some good moments in WWE, but in there as well are bad promos. In there as well are matches which didn't quite deliver. But then she was never properly trained. Do you know what I mean? Like, she did get training during her time, but it's a craft. As Becky says here, it's a craft. You can't just come in and, like, you know, pick it up straight away. Even Logan. If Logan was to work a full schedule and, like, wrestle every single week, you know, he would struggle. The same with Bad Bunny and all these other celebrities that come in, you know. WWE does an excellent job of being able to take people with very limited wrestling skill and make them look amazing. And Becky here is saying, you know, that's what we did with Ronda in that first match. And I think we all got a bit carried away thinking she was maybe a bit further along than she actually was. So it's a fascinating clip. Watch it if you get a chance. She said that she has accomplished everything that she set out to do in life, but it will always continue to surprise her. So Becky shares how her mom came around to her being a pro wrestler. So again, just a little clip from that. She also talks about Vince, not too much here. She just says that he was always good to her, respected her. She never had any issues, any concerns. Hearing this stuff feels like a different person, not the Vince that she knew. He was not the easiest to work with, but not the allegations that she's read. So she says, like, it's horrible. It's a horrible situation. It's the kind of thing that you would expect her to say. And then she talks about Mercedes and the pay that she's getting. So she said, I think it's important getting paid equally for equal work and the equal position that we are in right now. Women's evolution and revolutions are fine and well, but making sure they equate to contracts and financial reward for these things when we are doing equal work is hugely important. So that's her take on Mercedes' contract. And here, this is her at her book launch.
This is my first book signing. I signed it on this page, right? This one, right?
Next one.
Oh, the next one.
Do that one twice.
I've been doing this wrong the whole time.
Hi,
Oh, I love this.
It's amazing.
Oh.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm really nervous.
Oh,
He's been like my favorite wrestler for like ever.
Oh,
like, I've
thank
been
you so
watching him
much.
for like 12 years. I know. Oh my god, this is like so nervous.
Ah, that's lovely.
It's like this is so cool to meet you.
Oh, it's so nice to meet you.
It's good, isn't it?
Okay,
Great selfie.
Julian, how
It's good, isn't it? I love that girl. The one that's just like, oh my God, I've been watching you for so many years. Amazing. So she is out promoting her book that is available now. And as we found out yesterday, if you've got a Spotify subscription, thanks to Kenny for your thoughts, apparently the audiobook is there. You can just listen to it. It's part of your subscription, apparently. Right. We've done Becky. We've done. Let's go to NXT then. Okay, so here's a little clip. Right, this is Carmelo and Kalani doing a TikTok together. I believe they're in a relationship together. So they're just doing a fun little TikTok together. Coach Co, thank you. Natalia said she had the best time at NXT. It's always been one of her favorite places to wrestle. And she puts over Lola Vice, right? Lola said, it was an honor to wrestle you. I want a rematch. Blair Davenport said, me next, please. Jakara called her the boat. And then here's Roxanne cutting up some pictures of her, cutting up those pictures of when she met wrestlers and she was a fan. She's moving away from that now. Did really love her promo on NXT. Here is Lyra saying, thinking about when I hear and still at Stand and Deliver, right? And Roxanne said, who's going to tell her? It ain't going to be and still. So these two are going to put on a banger. Their match earlier this year, brilliant. Really enjoyed it. I think actually currently it's the second, technically the third, but I class it as the second highest rated match from the community. So they're going to go at it again and it should be a lot of fun. Stand and Deliver. Nikki Cross has just said she'll miss Ridge Holland. He's a good lad. So obviously Ridge announcing his retirement and Nikki Cross just saying that she's going to miss him. Joe Gacy said, dear Ava, the mayor of NXT, there are those who say I should maybe have a match with Shawn Spears in Philadelphia. That's the city I grew up in. Even if it's just the kickoff, you know how much I love the kickoff show. So Joe Gacy wanting to get a match at Stand and Deliver against Shawn Spears. Dijak reacting to the NXT ratings. NXT ratings came out. They were 601, right? Draw Jack is back. Thanks for tuning in, Dijak off. I mean, it looks like he was trying out a potential new name for his fans, which I wouldn't suggest. But I do like Draw Jack. Let's go. You can see this is when he was wrestling, and it was the highest rated segment of the show. And here's Natalia just responding to Blair Davenport. She says, let's go. So I think we've done everything but other and fun. So let's make our way down fun, shall we? Here, Brady, thank you. CM Punk said that Indi Hartwell committed the crime of putting ketchup on a hot dog in Chicago. So apparently you're not allowed to do that. So she is going to be brought in front of a tribunal, and the Honourable Wieners Circle will preside. So Indi Hartwell has gone and got herself into some trouble. Right, I do love this, but I need to do a bit of whooshing. Right, here it is.
What did he say?
All the passengers on board. They're in the back garage of two. Someone wearing fancy dress. One is called Helen.
Someone's wearing fancy dress. Someone's wearing fancy dress. Oh, God, look. Them guys. Give him a carry on.
So apparently that's what he wears all the time, but someone reported that someone in fancy dress was, I don't know, causing a disturbance or doing something, and they said he was dressed as Hulk Hogan, fancy dress as Hulk Hogan, but apparently that's just how that dude dresses. Apparently this dude dresses like... Apparently that's how this dude dresses all the time. There's over 400 comments. Imagine just going about your normal day and someone thinks that you're wearing fancy dress and you're not. Wow. It's amazing, isn't it? I love that. Love that. So, paradigm shift. Brilliant. Thank you. Right, PW Content was not a fan of this. Said this was so cringe and corny. This is from a house show. Boom. So there we go. I must admit, that's not really my cup of tea. Like him beating him over the head with the microphone and then asking him a question and Solo looked like he was about to answer it. Like, for me, they're meant to be in a fight. I want to see them, like, you know, fighting. But it's one of them, isn't it? It's a fun spot at a house show. So I don't pay it any attention, you know. But 440,000 views, 295 comments. I've not gone through the comments. My feeling is it's not for me. I'm not massively offended by it or anything. It's just a little fun moment at a house show. So we move on. Right, Elijah said you've got to watch this. This is YNRD248.
No. Things way too far, man. I don't know why you had to do all that. Where were you, Jay? No. Wait, where was I? I was dealing with Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? We got our beef right now. Taking him I took Jimmy out. No. Solo, man. My bad. I get my brothers mixed up. You know what I'm saying? I took Solo out too.
No.
Drew McIntyre, hating Drew McIntyre.
Brilliant.
Drew was on the phone.
No.
Everything just happened so quick, Oos. You know, I just couldn't get back there in time.
I do love that. If you want to watch the whole thing, go over to YNRD_248. That is basically Jey Uso trying to explain why he didn't come to Cody's aid. I do love. No, very good. Very, very good. So, Elijah, thank you. Oh, this is good as well. So Tristan said, I didn't know his daughter was an amateur wrestler. So here we've got a TikTok of Kurt Angle. So there's his daughter coming back from practice. He's coming out. He's got the milk, heading over. She jumps over. Look at them heading over to each other. She's excited to be back from practice. He's coming out with the milk. The good vibes are playing as well. It's lovely, that is. Brilliant. Here's Jey Uso. He was stoked that he's got a deep dish pizza in Chicago. Here we go. Let's play it.
I have a deep dish pizza in Chicago. I got a deep dish pizza.
That's it. I couldn't tell if he's just high on life or if he's had a drink, right? But he's like, I've got a deep dish pizza in Chicago. He seems really pleased that he's getting a deep dish pizza in Chicago, which, you know, I mean, that is known for that, of course. It probably is an exciting thing, but, oh, man. Brilliant. Harry said, funny, I agree. Very good. Right. Naomi said, we finally got Shayna Baszler on TikTok. We won. So she's on TikTok. Shayna said, leave me alone and do not follow me. So Shayna Baszler is on TikTok right now. I don't know what's going on here between Naomi and Nia Jax, but I love it all the same. Here we got Grayson Waller. He said shoeys are better than cringe solo cups. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where this feud has come from. But yeah, he's putting shoeys over, and I don't think they've got the red solo cups anymore, have they? But that's fun. Yeah, this is great. This is great. Do I have it lined up? No, I don't have it lined up. Let's go over there then and whoosh it in. So this is random. Look at this. They're in a hotel, Caden and Katana, walking past the window. There's Caden having a bit of fun. And Katana... so Katana says, for real, why have these rooms got these big-ass windows? And that is true, isn't it? Why have they got those big-ass windows? Like, you're walking past, someone could be doing something a little bit un-PG. Like Caden's doing here, twerking away. I did like that as well. Very, very good. Very, very good. Right, and what we got here? This is awesome. Naomi and Bianca rocking out to Becky's theme. Let's call this up, and let's see if we can get the music muted. There we go. We can't play her music, of course, but we can certainly enjoy looking at Bianca and Naomi in rocking out to the music. So there we go. Having a great time as they rock out to Becky's theme. Very good. And here, so there's been talk about Hogan coming into Wrestlemania. Triple H thoughts said, if you think Brett was mad after Wrestlemania 9, you ain't seen nothing yet, brother. I do like that. Kind of indicating, could Hogan come in and actually win the title at the end of the show? Imagine if Cody falls short and then Hogan's music plays, he comes down, and then he is the one that beats Roman. It'd be I'd just laugh. It would be the greatest moment in the history of WWE. Cody doesn't finish his story, but Hogan does at WrestleMania 40. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So, love that. Right, I knew we'd be pushed for time. We've only got 9 minutes. Thankfully, not tons in here. Mitchell, thank you. Apparently, a Roman Reigns diss track now appears under WWE's official discography on Spotify. I don't know what that means. I don't have Spotify, but I think it means if you go to WWE's profile, then a diss track that someone else has created for some reason appears. So random. Right, Martel, thank you, says that, oh yeah, this was interesting. Basically, Nick Aldis was just talking about getting in the ring. He said he'd be open to it. He also said that he felt a little bit kind of shunned, right, betrayed, if you will, when he found out that AEW was starting. I don't really know why. I don't know if it's because they didn't reach out to him, but I think he was under contract with NWA at the time. So I don't know. I need to listen to this interview. So he was speaking on Inside the Ropes. He talked about his history with Cody. He spoke about his history with LA Knight and the chemistry he's got, and that he would return to the ring, how he jumped at the chance of just joining WWE. It is quite perplexing as to why we've not used him in ring yet, to be honest. He is a great, exceptional talent. Right, yeah, this is going to be crazy. So CM Punk is going to be on Ariel Helwani, and it's going to be his first live extended interview since leaving AEW. Wow, that is going to be unmissable. Monday afternoon, CM Punk is gonna be on the MMA Hour, so amazing. Hey, listen to this. This is good. Dun, dun, dun. Bum, bum, bum. Bit of Jimi Hendrix by the sounds of it. He said, I've got a new pedal, and it goes wah, 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 wah. So he's got a wah, wah pedal, which I think is actually its actual name. Now, this could have gone in the perv folder, but it doesn't need to, because it's not about the picture. But God bless Wrestling World all the same, right? John Cena has a thing where he sends Dua Lipa a text and a photo every time he and his wife visit a restaurant that she has recommended to them. Random, innit? Dua Lipa is recommending restaurants to John Cena. He's going to them with his wife, and then he'll send Dua Lipa a picture to show that he did actually end up going. It's random. Blair Davenport says, happy birthday, studs. So there's Blair Davenport with her partner, Riley Osborne. I didn't know until, not that long ago, a few weeks ago, that they were in a relationship, but apparently they are. So Blair Davenport and Riley Osborne. Right. Here we go. This was interesting. So it would be nice if Dynamite and Collision were drawing 10 million viewers a week, and Raw and SmackDown were as well. If a pre-taped Saturday main event with Hogan and Andre could do 33 million people, right? So just talking about ratings, blah, 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 blah. But what I love about this is they mention the biggest TV wrestling show moment ever, which was Hogan and Andre, which did 33 million people. I did not know what Dave is about to tell us. Dave said, did you know, I did not know, that Hogan-Andre match didn't even crack the top 30 on network TV that week. It was not even in the top 30 for the week, and it did 33 million viewers. I thought it was like the biggest thing that week. I thought it was like, I didn't know it hadn't even broke into the top 30. Apparently it was number 31. I never knew that. So I thought that was really interesting. Rhea Ripley said Judgment Day would be the best faction for Logan if he was to join a faction. And here Sportskeeda said, would you like to see Logan Paul in Judgment Day? Never really thought about it, to be honest. Matt Cardona, oh yeah, the bit of beef here. So Sean Ross Sapp said, wrestlers at WrestleCon, we want to do some interviews with you for Fightful, right? Matt Cardona said, well then go to their tables and pay them for their time. This got viewed 469,000 times, right? It is true. Ariel Helwani has said that he does not pay for interviews, right? This is a platform for them to be able to promote whatever they want to promote. It's a way of getting out to a load of people. But obviously people have got split opinions on that now because the wrestlers have got big platforms themselves. So do they need to do these interviews if they're not being paid for them? Should they be paid for them? Or is it that basically you can go on, promote yourself, and obviously the audience and the exposure you get from that, whatever you've promoted, there's a good chance that you'll get paid that way, you know, through the products that you then advertise and then get to sell. Don't know. It's an interesting one. There's been a lot of talk on social media about this today. So look at that, nearly 500,000 views on this. Interesting. Right, and this is our last post, so again we're going to get it done before the hour, which is brilliant, and I really didn't think we would, man. We have had to again race through this a little, but I just love this. I would love to get this book. It's a new children's book that's out today in Bulgaria. The Bulgarian King Kong, The Hands of Steel and Golden Heart of Dan Kolov. Kolov, I don't know him. Kolov was a huge pro wrestling star in the 1930s. This is the 7th book about him in the last 25 years alone. And apparently, like, this is a kid's book, apparently. Looks amazing. Look at the art. I mean, it is all in Bulgarian. But I would love to get this. And here, look, Dave said it again. I'd say the 2 biggest European stars ever were Dan Kolov and Jim Londos. Which is interesting because no love for Bruno Sammartino, who was Italian. I'm surprised that Bruno doesn't get a mention there. And also George Hackenschmidt, who obviously the Russian Lion at the start of the year, or the start of the 1900s, sorry. I'm surprised he didn't get a mention as well. So, yeah, I this is what Dave is good for, in my opinion. There's a lot of talk about, like, the dirt sheets and how they leak spoilers and all that kind of stuff, but wrestling knowledge and wrestling history, like we saw with him telling us about how Hogan Andre didn't break into the top 30, or his knowledge of the biggest European stars ever, like this is what I go to Dave for, and very interesting, and I really want to find this book, so right, and that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate the support as always. I know we went quick in this, but to be honest, I'm probably going to have to start filtering out a load of stuff even more, because now it's WrestleMania. Everything just seems to be getting turned up even louder. So yeah, I might have to do even more editing and leaving bits out, as I definitely don't want these going over an hour long. So thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.